we are so happy to have you on with us today because this means that we get new shows, we get new music, but this is a long road to this point.
Yes.
Congratulations, and we're so happy to hear what you got for us.
Great, man. Yeah, it's this is definitely something that's been a long time coming, although I never knew it would be coming up until this situation occurred. So this kind of thing kind of just happened by happen chance, it just happened.
Mhm. Yeah. So what's going on with you? Because I know you've been belting out great music for years, and then you had to take a little break and made some changes yourself, and but now we get you back again.
Well, so the story goes basically last year, actually May 17th to be exact. Well, May 15th to be exact. I went for a routine checkup to get my eyes examined, and it was during the eye exam that the optometrist noticed some hemorrhaging based off of some x-rays that he took. It was at that moment that he decided to uh, cut the exam and check my blood pressure. It was super high, so he stopped the exam and basically sent me to urgent care. Urgent care got a hold of me, looked at my BP, and they were like, "This is crazy. We can't do anything. We You need to go to Medical City right now." So I head over to Medical City, and I'm have my girlfriend take me. And as we're walking into the hospital, I'm like, "This will be really quick. They'll probably get me some blood pressure like medication, and we'll be out and have some dinner." Well, fast forward 3 days and 2 nights, a CAT scan, MRI, biopsy. It was revealed that I had stage 4 kidney disease, IgA
Uh,
nephropathy. And so, yeah, it was forever that day, May 17th to be exact, that my whole life like changed forever. And there was kind of like this stalemate. I guess you could kind of call it what I talk about with my therapist now, between like that first initial diagnosis up until I'd say 5 or 6 months, 3 months later down the road, that I was really going through like subconscious grieving of like what my life used to be like and how I was. And I think a lot of it was me just not processing it properly, because I wasn't going to therapy at that time, but just me um, trying to understand this new way of life that I was going to have to live. But it was around like 3 or 4 months in that I kind of like decided to get out of this rut that I'd been living in and seek some help. Got with a Through the help of a friend, um, saw a doctor who's works in the world of plant-based, Dr. McDougall, and
mhm.
basically got on this health kick where I went strictly plant-based and started this regimen of walking 10,000 plus steps a day. Because with my disease, you can't necessarily like do the things that you used to. Your bones and stuff are totally different. But I would just walk. And it was during these walks that I came across some old songs that I had not ever released. And these songs were meant to be the follow up to my debut EP, which was 2011. So these songs had been sitting there. And I was like, this would be awesome if I could release them. And it was around that time that out of nowhere, when I was thinking about it, I got a call from Bo Bedford. And Bo Bedford is the producer of those songs. And he wasn't calling about the music or anything. He was literally just calling me. He was in New York when he called, and he was calling just to check up on me because he heard the news. And it was right then there that I took it as a sign to just ask him for his blessing to release the songs. And he said, by all means, please do. And so it started in November that I started releasing these songs as singles. And the idea basically came from it like, you know what? I'm going to release a whole EP based off of these songs again. And what ended up happening is, uh, it- KXT got behind it, the radio station. I then got by chance invited to play South by Southwest, which was really
Mhm.
cool at the Funk Factory. It was like an official South by Southwest party, which was really awesome. Played some So Far Sound shows. And then I was like, the icing on the cake, basically, is what better way to celebrate the year anniversary of my diagnosis than to release the EP the day that I was diagnosed, which is May 17th. And then also to put that to celebrate it by headlining the Kessler Theater in Dallas. And so KXT's gotten behind it, and I've just felt a lot of local love. And yeah, this basically is kind of like a thank you, like a love letter to people that have supported me, and kind of like a love letter to myself, because one thing that I found in like my darkest time during this whole process is just the to be able to come back to music, which has always been like my first love, and just being on a stage again um, has done so much for my confidence and everything, regardless of what I'm going through, physically and stuff. That's a challenge in itself, but this right here is definitely got me through a dark period.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine. But the good news is music is a very healing thing, and we know this, and playing it. But also, I know that these shows take a lot out of you because you put a lot into them. And
Yeah.
so does that kind of worry you at all?
You know what? The idea is yes, it does. But at the same time, it's really crazy. But I'm actually, I say this, being diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, but I'm in the best shape of my life. This plant-based thing has changed my whole like life. I have the energy that I never thought I could have. And so I, I don't know if it's just the adrenaline of like the music in itself, but all the symptoms and stuff that you're told to like be going through with this disease, I've yet to feel since going through this like whole transformation. When I first got diagnosed with the disease, I was at 9% kidney function, if we're just
Wow.
being honest. And today I'm at 18%. And that just
Mm.
shows you like within a year, like how everything happens. And my dad put it all into perspective. He's like, you have to think about it this way. Think about how bad you were treating your body for years and how long it took for it to happen for you to be in the position you're in. He's like, for you to kind of get it to heal yourself or to be back where you're at. He's like, it's gonna take some time. And obviously, uh the idea of a transplant is probably gonna happen. Um and but other than that, I think, regardless of the health, the conditions, I don't see that being an issue when it comes to the show. I think more than anything, the excitement and stuff is definitely a positive for my mental.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, just being able to hear some of these songs again, say kind of like an old friend. And I would ask like what song you're most excited for the world to hear, but it's kind of like choosing a favorite child, right?
Yeah, there's like so many like to like think about. And what's crazy is I shelved these songs for so long, but it was like
Hmm.
I said during these walks where I was like, I just wanted to touch or listen to something that I'd created that and see how it made me feel. And when I put these songs on, I don't know, it was just something special where I was like, why didn't I ever release these? Like, and why didn't we ever put this out? And just like the way it made me feel. And what's great is like the songs were done, like, say, around 2015, 2016, 2013, around that time, but they still work today. And even like being able to perform them recently, I don't know, there's still that magic and stuff that I feel that I did when we recorded the songs back then. So I think, you know, in the position that I'm in, I have way more uh, gratitude and understanding of, life than I did before. Whereas before it was like, party, chasing a record deal, trying to please this person or that. And like now it's like, this is authentically 100% me doing this for the love of music, the love of performance, and honestly, something that's just, I feel like good for my health, like I need it.
Hmm. And so I know a lot of people are going that plant-based route. Would you recommend that to a lot of people? Because it's a tough transition, but I mean it can be done.
Yeah, like I when I'm one of those type of people where I went cold turkey. Like before everything went down, like I was the king of fast food. Like I know where to go all over the city as far as when it comes to like fast food. I had so many bad eating habits. Plus I was drinking a lot, you know. And by the time I got diagnosed, it was getting to the point where I it took me so many drinks to like feel anything. But the idea of going plant-based, I think when you get down in a situation, especially when your health is dire, you have two options. And there are certain kinds of people that can look the barrel, you know, stare down the barrel of a gun and like completely change. Or there are some people who just stick to their ways. And for me, I was like, I'm switching it up. Like I'm not going to ever go back. And so I basically do this plant-based diet where I call it's hyper nourishing, where every day I'm doing these smoothies, which consist of just basically greens and minimal fruit, and
Mm.
they're big. And I drink them basically all day. And then anything else, it's just vegetables with some light carbs, be it rice or pasta. I don't do any oil. Like
Mm.
it's everything's like lemon or limes. It's really strict and really weird, but I'm not saying I would recommend it for anyone. But if I was someone who had a chronic disease and was dealing with it, and knowing what I know and knowing how the numbers have reversed for me, I would highly recommend this 100%.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the story is, I'm sure, it can be inspirational to people, and you know, of course, then again, just getting back up and playing is inspirational. You know, and you know, when kids see that, it's important for them to know that, you know, that there's always hope. There's, you know, even through the struggles. And so, do you have any sort of advice or words of wisdom for people that are listening to it? Going, you know what, maybe I should do this while I still can, right?
Yeah, you know what? Someone asked me the other day, like, you know, like, well, I bet you like hate life. I bet you like this is like tough on you, or you know, it's sad and stuff. It is like like I said at the beginning, the grieving process is terrible. But honestly, I felt like this was now looking back on it, this was meant to happen. I was meant
Yeah.
to like go through this. But at the same time, I feel like I was built for this. And I feel like if anything, my whole thing right now is to teach people to take care of yourself. I didn't understand it when people were like, your health is your wealth. But at the end of the day, and seeing like how the body has reacted so positively to um, me taking care of myself, because a lot of it you can control.
Yeah.
Um, if you have an opportunity to kind of keep yourself in a space where you're not having to worry about these chronic like diseases and whatnot. And it's crazy. I remember when I was younger, like people saying once you hit your 40s, like,
Mhm.
you know, that's when you start seeing the things. And I was like, yeah, right. And then it happened. And it's like I never thought about that because I was so consumed in just like having fun, and which I think everyone should have fun, but I never took my health seriously. And now my health is like my number one priority. But I think too with doing that, you just have to find a balance. And it's not just about like with food. I think it's just about with life too. Like, you know, uh, there's been some people in my personal life that I've put through like a struggle where I've laid it gets really heavy. It's not like this easy thing and you know where I'm my numbers are better and all this stuff, but there are people that you know who I love so dearly that have been through the valleys with me and still go through the valleys. It's not always perfect, but um I think finding a balance, going through therapy, uh and as well as just taking care of myself has kind of been my saving grace.
Yeah. Well, this is what you know, my co-host Drew Pearson would call a Hail Mary moment, you know, where he backs up against the wall and he's gotta catch it.
Yes, you know what, man? I'm still like waiting for that ball to come down. But this is the Hail Mary moment time. This is me like every day doing my process. It's like I haven't ever mastered the art of discipline until I got as sick as I did. And I think now just because even though I do have this chronic disease, like I have been able to like be consistent with something, and that's something that I've always struggled with, like all my life.
Yeah. Well, part of it is that mindset that you have to put yourself in. And, you know, it's the creative types, we're hard on ourselves. So you got to, you know, just kind of stay focused. Is there something you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on that right path?
Yeah, like as far as for me, I have this photo in my phone of what I looked like before like I was diagnosed. And it's the photo of myself in the bed. My girlfriend took it. And in the photo, I'm like, I've got like the thumbs up and I'm trying to be positive. But if you like look really into my eyes and I see that face, I was scared. And I was kind of like almost ashamed, that my life had like gotten to this point, and I was just so uncertain about living. Like I had I mean, you don't know until you're in that position. You always see people going through these things like on shows or on the news, and then you're going through this thing to get like a CAT scan, and your mind is racing, like a million miles an hour. So I think if anything, I try to just tell myself anytime I get carried away or if I think like I'm getting ahead of myself is to always remember that person who is in that bed. Like always take a look at that as far as to just give you kind of like um yeah, just to give you that understanding of like how far you've come, but how far you also have to go. Because like when I got in there, I was close to I was like 215, 20 pounds, and like now I'm like 165. And that's like not, yeah, that's just a lot of work. And then
Yeah.
also just, eating better, trying to eat cleaner. I don't drink anymore. Um, yeah, and I'm completely plant-based. Like I don't do any meat or anything like that.
Wow. Well, that certainly is inspirational. We can't wait to see you live on stage. Before we let you go, what kind of set list are we going to hear? Because you've been bringing us good music for years. So now you got to just get it down to a
Well,
smaller set list, right?
it's gonna be amazing. Like one thing that I wanted to make sure for the show is I wanted to bring Bo back. So
Yeah.
Bo's taking some time from his busy schedule. I've got my other friend Daniel Hardaway. He plays horns for Nathaniel Ratliff and the Night Sweats. Like
Yeah.
he's one of the Night Sweats. Taylor Nix, she sings with Abraham Alexander. She's taking some time from her tour, and they're all coming in to perform with me. I've got some other people like Lady B. She's coming back to perform, but just the amount of people that have agreed to like play this show, one is going to be amazing. We're going to play all the old stuff, some of this new stuff, which is I guess kind of old stuff, but um I think at the end this is kind of like, yeah, it's the release of some old material, but the hope is definitely to start working on some new music, because if anything I feel like re-energized to like really do something and make an impact. It's always it's kind of hard because you're always trying to like figure out your place in this world. And I feel like this right here could be the jump off of something. Even, where I'm at and how old I am, like I feel like I have so much more to give. And you're always trying to figure out what your purpose is in life. And I feel like, and I've had talks with, God, and people call it the universe or whatnot, but I feel like I just ask him like, if this is what you want me to do, like you gotta like show me some signs in everything that's happened since the release of this music, even since when Bo called me. I just feel like everything is just happening for a reason, and here we are. And now I'm talking to you, like I don't know what the future holds, but I just know like right now this is bigger than me. And I'm just basically doing what I feel is meant to be.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, we're so proud of you. So happy you're still doing it, fighting it, and going to be up there on that stage. We'll be there to see you,
Thanks so much.
and look forward to catching up with you very very soon. Otherwise,
Thanks so much, Paul.
all right. Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we'll cut it there. But let me ask you, what time do you go on? Because I'm trying to
I
balance as
go,
a.
okay, so the doors are at 7. Desi 5 goes on at 8, and then I go on at 9. And then
Okay.
yeah, that's it. But if you need like to get in or on the list,
Yeah.
let me know. I got you.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. It's next weekend is Texas Frightmare weekend, and every year I moderate the panels with all the big stars up on the stage. But
Oh
but
yeah.
I'll be done by then, so that's good. So
Okay.
I was hoping
Yeah.
it wasn't going to be too early. I know Kessler's a little bit earlier, so yeah.
No, not 9 o'clock.
Okay, perfect. That sounds awesome, man. Well, look forward to seeing you and giving you a big hug.
Thanks for doing it, man. I appreciate this so much. And do you know
Yeah.
like when this might air or whatever?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her to put it on, turn it around quickly because it's because time is of the essence. Some of these things are more evergreen, but this, we're trying to get butts and seats. So yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
All right, you got it, man. I'll see you soon. Okay,
Take
thanks,
care.
man. Okay,
All
bye.
right.